Hello, World of Tank Blitzers, it's a Littlefinger. Hey, gonna do a full tank review here on the T-44-85, which is Tier 7 Soviet medium premium tank, which is right now only available through crates, believe it or not. So this Chieftain Mark 6 lockbox. So obviously the Chieftain Mark 6, the Tier 10 British heavy tank, is the tank that probably everyone wants, but the only way to get the T-44-85 right now is by getting parts of certificates. It comes in either 10, 25, or 40 parts. Only a 12% chance of getting one of those three in each of these containers. As you can see, I have purchased 3 of the 50, meaning I have spent $30. And let me just go over to the storage here, and you'll see here is the certificate for the T-44-85. So I ended up getting 110 out of those 30 keys to open those crates, right? But interestingly to note that I finished 90 out of 100 on the AMX 30 and 90 on the Type 59. So I've got 2 more keys to go that I bought with gold. If I manage to pull one of those 2 tanks, I'll feel better about the deal. But as of right now, over $30 for this tank is just ridiculously bad. I hate to let my current, I think I played 11 or 10 games in 11 games in this tank, 55%, 1500 average damage. I have been bottom tier all but 2 games. So I hate to let that interfere with my thinking on this tank, but let's face it, it is very similar to the T-44, which we can see here, and the T-44-100. Interesting to note, just look how much bigger the cupola is. Really not a lot of armor to speak about, and I'll pull up the armor inspector, but the one thing before we get to provisions and ammunition, etc., the ammo rack sits right on the front right side of this tank. You've got a fuel cell right here and 2 ammo racks right there. So I've already been ammo racked 1 time on the game, which has changed how I have this set up. So standard consumables for me: repair kit, multipurpose, and adrenaline. Provisions, I'm running extra combat rations, the protective kit, plus 10% to ammo rack, right? And improved fuel to help us with our mobility. 25, 16, and 10. The other downside to this tank, if you're bottom tier all the time and you're facing objects 252Us, it's almost impossible to pen them if they're good players. So and that is why with the Annihilators, the Smashers, the tank just cannot handle being bottom tiered. Calibrated shells, again, having difficulty penning tanks at tier 8. Improved modules, plus 10% to our ammo rack durability. So we're doing everything we can to protect that damn ammo rack. Improved optics, enhanced gun lane drive, improved assembly, adding 66, getting us 1166 in hit points, engine accelerator, vertical stabilizer. Again, if you are shooting more on the move than stationary, you want to go with a vertical stabilizer. If you are stationary, this will help your dispersion only when stopped, right? And toolbox and consumable delivery system. All right, guys, this is Armor Inspector, and it's actually the T-44, but I think the layout of all of the modules is going to be very similar in this tank. So as you can see, you've got fuel tank here and in the back, and then you've got ammo racks here and here and here. And if I can get this one to light up, I guess I can't. Another one on the side. So these ammo racks are pretty accessible. I did a compilation recently of just how many T-44s I've seen getting ammo racked. Most of the time it is shells coming straight through, going kind of down like that into this area. So just be very mindful of that fact. I would say try to keep the right side of your tank protected as much as possible. Alright guys, here is blitzstars.com, and not going to spend too much time at this, but if you really want to know what the gun's like, look at the T-34-85 Rudy or even the T-43, that's just standard tech tree tank. very similar stats. Our DPM sits right in the middle, so it's nothing really to worry about too much. The weapon handling is nice. The downside here is your 6 degrees of gun depression. Look, every single other tank that I've pulled out has more gun depression. Speed and mobility, it just fits right in line with the rest of these tanks. It's nothing exceptional at all. And that's really my just general summary of it. It's just an average tank. Okay, just a short clip and a very heavy reminder to just watch out for your ammo rack. Hella's here. We've gone up and spotted the cap. We got spotted somehow crossing over, so someone fast beat us to the corner. And just taking a little peek, we've got a Predator over there and an M4 FL10, so we'll shoot him and pull back. And when we're nicely reloaded, we'll pull on forward again. And before we can even look to see the Scorpion, yes, a full health, over 1100 damage ammo rack. Alright guys, so here is the first battle. Middleburg, you know the drill. Stay high and fight for the high ground, right? So, one of two battles in which I was top tier. We'll see how this one works out. You can see rather sluggish on the acceleration. I do like to, especially in faster light tanks, come quickly to this corner here because you can oftentimes get spots on the heavies that are a little bit slow to climb the hill. So yeah, we got two, the SU-100Y and the ARL lit up there. Also, when you spawn on this side, that ridge line right in here gives you a nice access to peek on over. And we'll get a few more spots there. Trading shots with the P-43. Right now, just, we're trying to wait for our team to catch up, conserve our hit points. And obviously do damage and kill tanks, so willing to pull forward here to get the kill on the SU-100Y, being a little bit too aggressive. Still focusing on this P-43, and I don't know how many shots I take and miss. I guess, this is just the Soviet accuracy coming into play here. Those shots you expect to make, you can't. And those snapshots you take generally hit. So, yeah, so we missed 2 on him. ARL is now pushing hard. We're up 2 tanks. And so I'm seeing an opportunity here to just go ahead and completely flank them, not even pull up on this opening, but to pull up further back behind them, right? So hopefully that Annihilator hasn't seen what we're up to, and we can come here and take care of business on the Cromwell. And as we are angled backwards, that's probably one of the few and only bounces you will see in this tank. The agent misses his shot. And really, we're just, at this point, I feel pretty comfortable in the game. So I'm willing to take some hit points here and ramming and finishing them off before we reload. So not a very well played game by the Reds, but this is what I ran into with this tank. So many lopsided battles. It's nice, obviously, being top tier. You don't have to use that premium ammo very much. We got 3 kills there, 2200 damage. The credit making on it is okay. They're at 50,000. I would have expected a little bit more. But, just a standard game in that tank. Alright, so we move on over to Alpine Stud and bottom tier again. And as you can see, this is a T-44-85 Bravery if you put the premium camo on it. Premium camo was 950 gold. It does look pretty sharp. On Alpine Stud, I like to push up to this bush right up here. It gives you some nice spots coming across the opening, and there also where that M4 is. And if you don't like them pushing and whatnot, you can drop back into this kind of little low area right here or further towards the river to get out of you know, any harm's way, so to speak. You've got some nice hard cover and the bushes. The RU has pushed. Now the T-71 is pushed. I'm just keeping an eye on them as I've got targets further down here. And really, without cresting the hill and going over the railroad track, there's not much I can do about those guys just yet. So just trying to keep an eye on them, hoping to get some shots in. Now, I thought there maybe they would be pushing together, but they weren't, and I'm kind of caught out here in the middle. Not sure how I missed that, but now we've got our at least somewhat of our armor pointed towards most of their tanks. We can shoot HE into some of these much lighter armor tanks. 300 was our roll there on that RU. So you get a little sense of the brawling mechanics there. Pretty good accuracy on this gun. Not great, but pretty good. It hits most of its shots from a distance. As I have no idea what this Annihilator is doing. AT is turned. We'll finish him off. And let's see if we can't get in here and get some more shots on him. And I tell you what, I am struggling with my iPad, and I know I've complained about it before, but if I'm trying to drive and I put my finger on the right side to like look in a different direction, it drops my left finger and I end up stopping. It's just gotten so frustrating. Tried rebooting, cleaning the screen and everything. Just nothing is consistent there. So another nice damage game at 2,500 damage. Good for level 1. You know, we did some scouting there. 59,000 credits is a little bit better, more in line with what I would have expected from the last game. All right, and finally here on Castillo, bottom tier again. And really feel like the importance here in this game with a split team is to take the Castillo hill and you know, just support our heavies if they decide to go to the windmill. From oftentimes, if you're a heavy, you go windmill. You get sniped to death if you don't have people protecting the Castillo. Now, I tried to get up the short way here, and this tank does not have the speed nor the power to do that. And as you can see, we end up spotting 2 tanks in the process, and luckily can get into some hard cover here. Now I know I've got 2 tanks above me that should be engaging very shortly, so I've dropped adrenaline and just trying to put the works on the mutts here. Interesting armor profile on the mutts. Kind of afraid there to shoot that rounded front hull, so I went for a shot on the side of the turret. But you can see we're quickly at 1,000 damage. So pretty fast firing gun. There is a shot right in on that cupola that I was talking about. So difficult to keep all of that hidden, especially with your lower. I'm sorry, I don't know what I was going to say there. With your lack of gun depression, I guess. But one of the other things that I noticed being bottom tiers, I had a game, you know, against a Tiger 2, right? 1,600 hit points. I'm doing 200 per shot. Means I'm just going to have to shoot that guy 8 times at least. With him doing over 300 damage per shot, he's only got to shoot me 3 or 4 times. So it makes it extremely difficult in situations up against some of these bigger heavies, as we get a very lucky shot on the move there. But we do need to clear the hill. Our guys did a horrible job up here. So we'll push on up and get a nice shot here on the AMX to finish him off. And the Comet, instead of holding him there where I might be able to help him, is in full retreat mode. So we got to back on up and drop an adrenaline here to get a couple more shots in there. Try to save as much as we can. But like I'm saying, I mean, you know, we got to get 150. It's horrible. So finish him off. Took a few shots for our pleasure there. Just the IS-6, and I think it was the Centurion Mark 5-1 that is still alive. And I know he was up here somewhere, so I was just slow playing it, waiting to see what happens with the IS-6. He is taken out, so now we just need to hunt down this Centurion. And there's that difficulty shooting on the move. He's got more hit points than me. He's a tier higher than me. He's got better armor than I do. He's got a better gun than I do. This is really not much of a fair fight. And then my iPad starts acting up when I try to run away. See, it just won't start. It won't go. So he manages to get around me and shoot me. I decide, oh well, I'll give up and try to shoot him. And we get one shot in. But again, as we watch the Smasher finish this one off, it's just a decently mobile tank with a decent gun. There's nothing special about the tank whatsoever. It's not going to be a tank that I'm going, oh wow, I haven't played this in a while, I need to get it out. I'm going to play it and I'm going to forget about it. So save your money, and I guess if you really want it, wait for it to come back in a guaranteed offer later on. So that is my review on the T-44-85 Bravery. Have fun out there, guys. Stay safe, get educated, not fingered. Littlefinger out.